I just saw a video of a woman bitching because a big burly bearded trans man was using the women's restroom. Oh my god. There might be children in there. Oh my god. Isn't this what y'all wanted? Isn't this what transphobes wanted? They said if you have a penis, you have to use the men's. If you have a vagina, you have to use the women's. Well, now you see what happens. Now you see what happens when you make trans people use the incorrect bathroom that aligns with their gender.
It's not incorrect. It's not incorrect. I will say that. Two, I will say another thing. If you're fully committed to the bit at that point where you are passing for the other gender, where you can't really tell whether you're a man or a woman at that point, I think that you should be allowed to use the bathroom with which you identify. I can see how some people might say that's a slippery slope, but if you're committed to the bit, and I call it a bit because we know that men can be women and women can be men, no matter how much makeup and how much surgery you get done, you can never fundamentally change your DNA. But if you are committed to the bit, I think that you should be allowed that privilege to use the bathroom with which you identify. And I don't really think that women have problem with other women going into the men's restroom. Now, if they look like a man, I could see how that might be a problem. But this burly looking man who was already passing according to you could have went to the men's restroom and used a stall, and there would have been no problem. No man would have questioned it. At the end of the day, that is a woman, right? That's going into the man's bathroom that just happens to look like a man. And no man would have questioned it. They would have thought it was a man as well. Or are you saying that wherever you live there or wherever you saw this story happen, that they're checking genitals before they allow you into the restrooms? A lot of these people don't think about the other possibilities. But this isn't the only reason why we want mostly men, because it's really men that are doing this, predators that are taking advantage of these laws and these laws being passed and and try to abuse the system and try to predate on women. That is what's happening. And so we are trying to prevent that. We are trying to keep you safe, but because you are so delusional and so entrenched in your beliefs, you don't care if a couple of women get hurt by a man who's looking to do harm to women because he says he identifies as a woman. You don't actually care about that. So when you say you care about women, you don't really care about women. Let's just continue to listen to what she has to say, and then I'm going to show you the other side of the coin. What happens when you allow this to go unchecked?
You get a bunch of bearded, muscular guys using the women's bathroom because you decided they weren't man enough. I really feel like the people who think of these things, they don't know that trans men exist. It just throws a wrench in their whole thing. It's kind of funny.
It doesn't throw a wrench in the whole thing. You know why people don't worry about trans men? Because at the end of the day, those are women. There is no trans man that is going to be able to overpower a regular man. What is a trans man going to do? What is a woman pretending to be a man going to do to another man? Is he going in there into the men's restroom and taking, uh, you know, personal pictures? Is he going in there to touch the men or she? Is he going in there to do all the things that you guys worry about men doing to women? Most likely not. This is why we don't worry about it, because we don't have to worry about women being able, for the most part, to do harm to men, especially not in their own spaces. Now, this is the other side of the coin. I want to show you something that happened very recently where a woman went into a gym. Well, she was in the gym and she was in the locker room and she saw a man while she was naked staring at her, called her sir. She said, "I'm not a sir, you're going to respect me. I'm a woman." Mind you, dressed in man's clothes, looks like completely like a man, hasn't committed to the bit. And she was the one that actually ended up getting kicked out of the gym when it was him who was in there harassing women. But this is what they never want to talk about, because to them, if a few women feel uncomfortable, if a few women get hurt in the locker room or in women's spaces, that's okay as long as they protect trans rights. Let me show you the video first, a little breakdown of what happened, and then I'll play the little story time this person actually did of what happened to them in this locker room.
Men, grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room. When a man in the restroom, when I'm naked, there are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay. Me naked in front of a man without my permission. But I ain't the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room.
Look at that. That was a man. That was a man with semi-long hair, slicked back, had an earring on, or I'm assuming earring on both sides. A regular shirt, was dressed like a man, and somehow, by him just claiming that he's a woman, he's allowed access into the women's locker room to violate women's privacy and safety. How is that a logical thing for us to follow? This is what we're trying to prevent, from men being able to abuse women in this kind of sense. And to top it off, instead of kicking him out, she was kicked out of the gym because she felt uncomfortable. There was a man in the women's locker room just because he claimed that he was a woman. We are living in insanity times. And this is what these pro-LGBTQ LMNOP motherfuckers want. That's what they want. Because again, me as a man, and I would never do it, I can go to California, I believe this happened in California, and go to a gym looking like this and claim I'm a woman and go into the women's locker room and there's nothing they can do about it. They'll get kicked out instead of me. And these people don't realize that they're propping up the same patriarchy they talk about taking down and dismantling, because you're giving the power to the man in that sense, in your own spaces. But let's hear what she has to say in her own story time so you guys get a gist of what actually happened during this altercation.
I just had the worst experience ever at the gym, at Gold's Gym, and I think this is probably happening at gyms across America. We're like, trans women are going into the women's locker room and not really caring about how women feel about it. And it's really hurtful, yo. Like, how you gonna say you want to be a woman or that you are a woman, but you don't give a fuck how women feel? Today I was naked in the locker room. I turn around and there's a man there in boy clothes, lip gloss, standing there looking at me. I'm butt naked. So the first thing I think is maybe there's a worker in here. Maybe I missed a sign. I say the word sir to say, sir, what are you doing in here? He goes, don't fucking talk to me. I'm a woman. I have a right to be in here. Immediately, I'm fucking pissed because I'm butt naked. I feel violated. I feel like weird. Like, I don't want to deal with this, right? So the girls are walking in and they're seeing the commotion and they actually chime in and say, yo, I don't know why he's in here. He's not supposed to be in here. And then I talk to the people that work at Gold's Gym and they don't really have anything to do. They just like, oh, we can file a report about it, incident report. What the fuck is going on? Like, listen, how can you say you're a woman or you want to be a woman and you don't care how women feel? That's nothing more manly than not giving a fuck about how women feel.
That's because it's not about how women feel. It's about the ideology. I've said this time and again. It's not about the individual. It's about the collective. This is why these people are communist, socialists, because it's all about the collective. They don't care if a few people get hurt in the process of them achieving their quote-unquote utopia. They don't care they don't care about throwing a couple of women under the bus as long as they get to their desired outcome. But these are the same people that tell you that they care about women. We love women. We care about women. That includes all women, including transgender women, aka men, because they're not women. If they were women, you wouldn't have to put the word trans in the front. But we all know that that's not reality. It's not true. They care about women up until the women disagrees with the point, and if they don't agree with the point, they throw them under the bus and keep going. The ideology is more important. We have to get to our goal.
I'd like to think. And I get it, like, everybody has their own things, and I don't want to say that I know everything about gay rights or trans rights. I'm a lesbian. I've been a lesbian my whole life. I treat people how I want to be treated regardless of whatever their sexual orientation is or whatever they decide. So I'm not transphobic and I'm not homophobic. I'm not straightphobic. I'm not racist. None of these things. I just believe in treating people how I want to be treated. Why do you guys think it's okay for men to be in the women's restroom? And like, when is the cutoff point? Is it like, oh, you cut off your penis, you can come in here? Why aren't women making the laws? And if you really want to fucking be safe and feel good, why don't we just make trans restrooms? Because it ain't right. The way I feel right now. And don't come into my comments about he gay, he ain't looking at you. I don't give a fuck, bro. It's about a feeling, yo. Like, if you never been a little girl who been touched or been through some shit, you won't understand that feeling. And you've never been a little girl.
I agree with her 100%. And again, dude wasn't even committed to the bit. Dude wasn't committed to the bit. So how do we really know this guy was transgender like he claimed he was? Again, he probably wasn't. He was probably just a predator creep who wanted to prey on women in their vulnerable spot. And he got away with it because she got kicked out. But I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. And if you like what I do here and you want to support my work, I have links in the description box below. Buy me a coffee or send me a Cash App. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.